Prime Fitness plate loaded row. Really nice. I have it on 3 settings, so that's a lengthen focus. Swivel grip, so I don't have to rotate for straps. Starts very close to 100% that weight. Goes up to like 60 degrees, so 30 degrees below the normal. So that means 50% drop off, which is a little bit too much in my opinion. So I should probably load the middle or the bottom ones to get a little bit less. Or if you want to load closer to that. Let's do a little more. Let's do 4 plates per side. 4 plates, not per side. 4 plates in 3 setting, and like 1 plate of the lightened or the shortened setting. Try to stop the drop off being so crazy again. It's a heavy-ish set, like actual working sets, so that I can see how it compares to my working sets on the Atlantis old school leverage and the CXP, which are my favorite for my build. So this is like my 3rd favorite. And I see what people are talking about when they say it feels like there's a magnet at the beginning. It has to do with the linkage. So I'll show you in a second. So the heaviness in the beginning that people are talking about, it has to do with this linkage right here. So this is the pulling arm. I like to call it the pulling arm or the movement arm. And then it connects this linkage bar, connects it to the torque arm or the lever arm, whatever. So this is why. See this piece right here where it has the pivot point right there? Maybe it's hard to see, but how do I show this? Maybe like that. See how acute the angle is between this bracket, this like square-ish bracket right here, and that piece in the middle of it, where it's held together by, you know, a bushing. See how acute the angle between those two is. So at the beginning, you're actually pulling into the frame, like this thing is pulling into the frame. So you need to overcome the resistance so that this piece right here starts becoming more perpendicular to this bracket, to the square bracket. Once it starts becoming more perpendicular, you're pulling less into like this stiff, rigid like piece, this frame, and more of like moving the linkages. So think of it as pushing into friction, not exactly, but pushing into the frame versus, you know, actually using the linkage to move the pieces. So if this angle here, let's say it were like wider like this, it would not feel so heavy in the beginning, like crazy, like magnetic stuck. But the second you are able to get it off, like widened a little bit, then it starts becoming completely normal again. But yeah, I can see that. It is a weird feel. That thing right there, very cute. I'm also gonna try to extend the chest pad out a little bit so that I'm not so smushed up this way. So I could actually plant my shins against the shin pads. like a back movement off of this. So let's see if this is even possible. Imagine what I have to do on my side X plate loaded row, very similar to this. Oh god. Do this. Open it. I can do this. There's no way. I do it. It's too difficult for me. Go over and down. Yeah, man. It would be pretty sick if they got this linkage a little different. I'm thinking if they welded here. I'll show it, but because this whole assembly is angled this way, because the arms are angled that way for getting maximum range of motion, they're forced to make this part right here, this bracket right here, pretty steeply downwardly angled. If it were more, like flat down here, if it were more flat, you could create more closer towards an ideal 90-degree angle with this linkage arm. Or another way is if right here, if this part of the torque arm, instead of just like a rectangular block down here, if it were like an angled block like this, and then the linkage were to come down at a better angle into that, this part right here, see that part right there? If it were to come down into a better angle there, it would also have no like sticking in the beginning. But it is like people have described it like a magnet in the very beginning of the pull. Especially if you do like a lengthen focus. So it's like exacerbated by that. But the second you clear those first couple inches of range, like literally just sitting back into position, that's it. Then it's like normal again. But if you extend forward, to try to set up your straps or something, grab the handles, it is very sticky in the beginning if you're doing a lengthen focus like this. Let me hit up a couple more plates, maybe like a plate or two more on the shortened. Do a plate on the shortened, and then 35 on the top. Very nice bilateral mouth, but man, getting it off, it is for sure sticky. Like I wish I had I don't know, somebody helping me. Let's get a different angle. Side angle. This row. Oh, I forgot to talk about like the actual movement, like motion path. So here, let me get it from the front or from the back. But these handles are pretty narrow to your side, so you get really nice lat focus row. You can get upper back a little bit more delt, just trying to pull out, like consciously trying to pull out more, but really, really good lat focus row. Really good. Natural, very natural feeling. Definitely gonna hit a couple more sets of this since I'm row. have to strap up one side first, strap up other side, and then come up over the top and like slide down into position. I don't know if I can do it. The magnetic feel at the beginning is a lot. Just can't do it. It's too heavy in the beginning. Ooh, this shit's crazy. Maybe I change the ratio. 3 and 3. That's basically a mid-focus row, because 3 top, 3 bottom, basically the equivalent of putting all 6 on the middle. Yeah, pretty nice. I'll show you the motion path to my frame, relative to my frame from the back. And I'll do a unilateral also. Oh, buddy, this shit heavy. Oh, I know what people are talking about now. I think, in my opinion, if they fix that, this would be my goated bilateral row until the Hobson comes out. Leave the Hobson with the locking bilateral, unilateral options. Might be better. But I have heard something about the Hobson locking mechanism not working very well and slipping apart on them where they presses. So I don't know. Unilateral feels fine to me. You can see I can get the elbow pretty close to my side for unilateral. Maybe just try to bias. That's how you're doing the unilateral one. Let me see. Good row, but man, the more I use it, the more I keep thinking about how sticky it is in the beginning. Yeah, I think the best fix is probably having this, so you can kind of see it, come out, this piece right here, come out instead of just down here, comes out like this more. And then from there, go straight, like more. So have this arm, you still have the same bends and everything, but instead of starting right here, it'll start like over here or something instead. And then it goes more straight down into here. I think that would fix everything basically. Just, yeah, that seems like the best fix to me, honestly. Because man, this shit feels crazy heavy in the beginning. I have the selectorized version of this, and because it's belt belt driven, no stickiness problem. It's just a belt to a stack. And then the stack has, this drive, prime, adjustable cam, so you can have the different cam settings, different feels, different strength curves, space on the cam. So this is trying not to be biased, but I actually think the Selectorize is better in that regard. There's no sticking in the beginning. Because this one, very, very noticeable, very noticeable when you go heavy. Like you see, I'm hitting my RPs like 7/8 at the end here, at the very least, and like at the very beginning, I could feel it. A lot of tension until I get it completely like unracked. Shin pads are good. Normally prefer like a foot brace to brace up against. Shin pads are a fine alternative. These angles, I kind of don't really care. I'd rather just have it straight, honestly. And then distance is nice to, I'm short, but like I have a decent reach, 6 to 9 inches, pretty nice. So like this is the setting I use, number 10 out of 12. So there could be 2 shorter ones. So, me personally, it's not too crazy far away. So it's good like this. The only flaw that I really see, the only obvious flaw is that angle, the linkage angle is too acute. Yeah, imagine it's like so this arm here is pulling, and then there's that bushing, right? Basically imagine pulling like a rope, imagine this thing's attached to a rope, and imagine you're pulling the rope like this straight into the exact angle of this arm, right? What's the likelihood that this thing is gonna rotate up or down? Not likely. Basically, it won't rotate up or down. You pull like exactly in line with this. Now, if you pull the rope attached to that upwards, right? Doesn't take a ton of pressure to pull this to start rotating up, right? So it's the same concept. You're trying to rotate this arm such that this torque arm rotates along with you, But when the angles are too close to each other, too narrow, you're like pulling into this arm more, versus if it's like this, right? Like a little more like this, then you can pull, when you pull upwards like this on this finger, this one will be more likely to rotate upwards. Sorry with the finger thing, the jigger, sorry. But basically, yeah, that's the issue right there. Very easily solved, in my opinion. You literally just an angled piece right here out, and then you can even have the same exact arm coming down. Maybe at worst shorten this section a little bit, and it's the same shit. Dang, Prime. You ain't got anybody that lives over there, Prime? Like I don't even do this for a living, and I can already tell.